This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
So what did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I'll just get directly to the story here. My wife enjoys cooking. You know, she enjoys doing it on the weekend, which I enjoy. We decided one day that we were going to try to splurge a little bit and kind of do a surf and turf thing.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, sorry about that. We decided to go out and buy some surf and turf on the weekend. Went to a grocery store, and grabbed 2 Wagyu beef steaks.
Yep.
Which ended up costing us $210 for 2 pounds of steaks. And unfortunately, when we cooked them up, I guess we didn't do our research enough. I guess it's a known thing. You're supposed to cut off the majority of the fat, which we didn't do. So unfortunately, it was super greasy and definitely not worth it.
Oh. Well, how was the surf part anyway?
The surf part was fantastic. You can't really can't really go around with the crab and shrimp and lobster and all that stuff. Surf definitely was great, but the turf was unfortunately super greasy.
I've never actually cooked Wagyu at home. I've had it once or twice in my life at a restaurant. Mm-hmm. It is outstanding, but it's one of those things that's so good. I'm like, I don't want to do this at home because it will not be this good.
Sure.
For the cost of it, it will not be that good.
I know you said you like cooking on the weekends and stuff. At one point in time, probably 10 years ago, I decided I was going to splurge on a big green egg.
Oh, that's right. You're smoking.
Still had kids around, wanted to learn how to smoke. The attempts that I did were a little problematic as far as keeping the temperature consistent.
Right.
Without having a Traeger or anything that kind of, handled that for you. So there would be times where the temperature would shoot up way too high.
Sure.
If a big coal caught on fire or whatever the deal was. So I never really figure out how to do that correctly in that unit. I tried a bunch of times. It was just more for grilling. Mm-hmm. And as the kids moved on to school, you get to the point where it would take an hour to get the grill ready.
So you can make 2 hot dogs for yourself?
To be able to use,
to
throw a chicken breast on.
Yeah.
And I found that I wasn't grilling nearly as much as I used to because of and then the soot would get in my nostrils and, it was just so heavy smoke and it'd billow up and all this. And I just got to the point where I'm like, I sold it to a buddy.
Yeah.
He still has a family. It's worth it if you could throw a bunch of stuff on. You're doing something for the weekend. But to throw on a chicken breast on a Tuesday night, I just needed something that I could
quick and easy
fire up.
Would using one of those things too, like you got to really be committed, I think, to smoking stuff.
Absolutely.
You do. Like my buddy Sal, like he's very good at it, but he does it often, and it's like he gets enjoyment out of it. I think a lot of people like. You could buy like the green egg is awesome. It's top of the line. But for somebody like you, like
how often are you going to really?
You grill and cook a lot of stuff, but I rarely hear you talking about smoking meats.
Well, one of the reasons that I don't is because I like sleep. And it seems that everyone who does that is up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, starting the process.
You got to start it the night before.
Or whenever.
Right. Then you got to have an alarm set so you can check the temperature.
All those things.
Right. We all know it's going to stall at some point. Are you going to get through it?
Yeah. That's why the Traeger is probably a better idea if I ever went back into that world.
Yeah, Traegers are great.
Yeah. I've never heard a bad thing about it.
Because in the summertime, we refuse to pretty much make anything indoors. And you take advantage when you live here, man. You're sitting outside all the time. But we got a big-ass, flat top kind of grill thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, we didn't splurge on it because I want to say we bought it it was like Labor Day or something a couple of years ago. Home Depot's trying to get rid of this stuff, right? So now it's on sale. We looked at each other. As we're leaving the store, saw the price, and I'm like, let's buy this thing now. Like, we'll start it next summer. Probably the best purchase we've made, but to your point, it's because we still have kids in the house.
Sure.
And all their friends come over, and you can put, 400 hot dogs on this goddamn
thing. That
thing.
guarantees the beginning of a great cheesesteak as well.
It really does,
to have
man.
that flat top.
Hell yeah.
I
You
mean,
need
breakfast.
the room to
Yeah.
break it up.
That's probably one of my favorite purchases. The one time we do splurge, and now it's become kind of our tradition. So our anniversary's in July, and we decided, well, we can't always travel and all this kind of thing, just work, everything else. So we've decided we import all these blue crabs from Maryland and get it sent to the house, and then we do our big crab feast, whatever the hell. You were there last year, right? So it's not economically viable.
Yeah.
But I'm like, once a year we will do this. It is staggering how much it costs because you're getting all the stuff shipped over to you, man. They're sending it across the country. But that said, it is so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
I can tell you that.
Because she'll always tell me, she's like, man, it's so expensive. I'm like, I don't care because none of this goes to waste, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like food is probably the thing you splurge on the most that you're always kind of like, all right.
Especially when you're having people over. Super Bowl spread, our big crab feast in the summer, anything like that. Hell, spend the money. Everybody's delighted, man. It makes it worthwhile.
I know you bought those king crab legs that were really expensive, but typically if I get crab cakes from one of the places we used to go to in Baltimore, even if you get 6, it's about $150.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Those are super expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I have done that a few times. I mean, I think, don't get me wrong, I've spent money on a lot of stuff. I'll tell you one thing, tired of all these SOBs I know. Weddings. Just flying across the country, staying in hotels, especially when you're in 23. Is it only been? Was there another one? I always say 23. But either way, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
Right? If you got to pay for the tux and this and that.
Do you get a gift in that instance?
No.
I would say no, too.
Either does the couple.
Exactly.
Yeah, some people
That's what I
still
meant,
do,
the
but
couple.
very few people do.
Okay.
Right. Right. I'm like, look, I flew across the country. But in the end, I would say food. It's the two things I really like. So food, and then probably the biggest splurge of my entire life was at the Bunny Ranch.
Dude, that's understood.
Yeah.
Right. No one don't go there and be economical. Like, you're at the Bunny Ranch, like, any amount of money I got, I'm throwing it out there.
I had a cousin. I didn't go to his wedding because of COVID, but they still had the wedding. Mm-hmm. But there was a registry online. So go and buy something, pick something out. By the time that I got to that registry, there was nothing on that registry less than $300.
Right, because everyone bought the cheap stuff first, man. You got to get on it.
Correct. I was unaware of this. So I get on. I'm like, I'm not getting you anything. If they had a money option, like send $100, I'd have done that.
You should have just done that. Like, here's $100.
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Anton. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So this was actually about a month ago. Me and my buddy met up at Smokey Joe's Cigar Lounge. We hadn't hung out since like the beginning of COVID, and we were just having cigars and some whiskey, and we wanted to try a really nice whiskey. So what we ended up getting, or what my buddy ended up buying for me, was a shot of Yama Japanese barrel-aged whiskey. And we looked up the price of the bottle, and that stuff is $700 a bottle.
Jesus.
Wow. Let me tell you.
Japanese whiskey's really, really good.
Oh, yeah. It was the best whiskey of my life. It was like velvet and silk going down the tongue with the tiniest little bit of alcohol burn, like at the back of your throat. It was just amazing.
How much did you guys buy the bottle, or did you do shots?
We just did shots.
And how much was a shot?
They had it for a pretty good price, only $60.
That's actually, I hate to say it's not bad. That's expensive.
Don Julio, 1942.
One of the crap I drank was $75, and I can't even remember the name of it, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Would you do it again?
Honestly, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the way you described it, I'm like, this dude would drop that cash again in a heartbeat.
Well, what's the most expensive cigar you've ever smoked?
I've probably smoked $20 or $30 cigar.
Okay. Is that an average price? I'm not a cigar smoker.
No. If you buy them by the box, you can generally get them for about $5 to $10 a stick. If you buy them individually, then you're looking at about $10 to $20.
What?
I mean, obviously there's cigars out there that are like $50, $60 a stick.
Well, I was going to ask, like, what's a cigar, if you're a cigar smoker, right? Because we were talking about whiskey, and if you drink whiskey, there's always the next whiskey you want to try, right? Whatever the cost is. What is, like, the cigar you would really like to try?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but something in an El Presidente size.
Okay. If you went to Canada, you could buy a Cuban. I don't think you can buy a Cuban in the United
still don't
States
think you can.
So probably, yeah, if I were to go to Canada, a Cuban just for the sake of saying, yeah, I've smoked a Cuban before.
And how much would you guess that would cost?
Well, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 if I were to guess.
So it's not crazy outrageous.
No, not something that if I'm going to be smoking for a couple hours, like, for a larger cigar, I would have no problem spending that on.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think it just seems extravagant.
Cigarettes is $12.
It only seems extravagant in the States because you can't get Cuban cigars, right? But in places you can get Cuban, like when we're in Europe, they're like, yeah, of course we have Cuban cigars. We have American whiskey, we have Cuban cigars, like it's the standard stuff, and it wasn't really expensive.
I smoked a Cohiba.
Haven't?
Yeah.
Is there any noticeable difference? Or you don't smoke enough?
Good, but I mean, right, with the embargo and stuff for years, and what happened in Cuba was most of the seeds left.
Oh, really?
Went over to the Dominican Republic and other places.
Okay.
And same with the dudes that rolled them. So I mean, there's still something to having a Cuban cigar, but at this point,
you're basically smoking one if you got one from the Dominican.
Yeah, and sometimes they're almost better.
Huh, okay.
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Cigar smoking is expensive by the box.
Sure. But people that are in it, man, that is their thing. And you can always tell a real cigar smoker because, right, they do their puff, and then instantly, it's like you did with the shot glass, right? You pull it out of your mouth, and then you look at the cigar.
Oh, yeah.
There's just something about it. When someone really likes something, I don't know what it is, you pull it back out of your mouth and you stare at it for a second.
The other boss move, if you're smoking a cigar, is you got to point with the butt of it.
The
so you
butt.
can't, like
flip
you're talking,
right.
You go, hey, you.
I give that. I'm going to buy a cigar just to do that.
I know, right? Somebody will listen to you. They'll be like, what's going on?
He's important. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, my wife and I decided to go to Maui for our honeymoon. We actually got a king suite out on Kanapali Beach. Spent, I think, on the suite, it was like $10,500. And it would have been amazing. However, her gallbladder gave out 2 hours before we landed. So
you gotta be kidding me.
Spent the whole trip in the ER, and I guess the ER would be probably the splurge just to check in with $4,500.
Jeez, man!
Checked in 5 times.
How is she doing now?
She's still. I mean, she did pretty good. I knocked her up when we got back, and the pregnancy actually helped quite a bit, but she's been kind of having episodes again lately. It's been tough.
I can't believe it happened then.
Of course,
of all the times.
Neither can she.
So was she?
She's still saying.
Was she bedridden for the entire trip?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We on our last day there, she finally felt good enough to get out of bed. We walked on the beach, and then I took her to an aquarium that was nearby, just so she can kind of see something.
Okay, she's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You are in Hawaii. You can spend so much time with her in the room as you can.
Right.
You want to be there in case she needs you. Did you do anything on your own or go anywhere or do your own excursion or lay on the beach for an hour or two, or did you have to constantly stay close to the room?
Oh, absolutely not. I had to stay right next to her. I mean, she would take a sip of water and start throwing up and profusely.
Oh,
and
my.
So, I mean, I was sprinting back and forth from the parking garage to go get the car to take her back to the hospital, and it was a total nightmare. I mean, I would wake up at 4 in the morning and go for a jog on the beach, 20, 30 minutes, and then I'd be back at her side.
Wow. See, my thought would be well, baby, look, you're bedridden, so why don't we take you to the hospital, train medical professionals, and I'll go back, to the beach.
Right? Maybe not as expensive, but don't you believe you deserve a do-over on that honeymoon?
Oh, man, absolutely. She wants to do sandals this time.
But now you got a kid, so suddenly the cost of everything changes greatly.
Sandals, I believe, does have an all-inclusive package.
They do.
So, we have we have a really tight family knit, so I mean we'd probably ditch the kid with some folks and then go have an adult time.
Yeah, man, ditch the kid and then just remind your wife. Just be like, honey, look, I want to do this for us. God damn it, if you get sick again, but focus on your health.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, get that, man. Maui was expensive. We went because, coming from the East Coast, the idea of going to Hawaii, you might as well go to Australia, right? It didn't seem like this incredible excursion. Well, living here, going to Hawaii, I mean, hop on a plane to there. So we went. It it makes sense, but I was not prepared for how expensive it is just to be in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not even just a room and all that thing, but I mean, just the beer, any kind of groceries, anything like that. And I get it because everything's important. But by the time we left, all right, so she booked, I don't know, the Sheraton or wherever we stayed. I remember I was pissy because the hotel room was very expensive, right? But she booked it. And she knows how to do it. Like, I'm going to book it, then you can get mad at me later. And we both do this to each other. I'll ask for forgiveness later. So I'm just like, man, you spent a goddamn lot on this room, whatever. Stay there for the week, and when we go to check out, I know what the room is going to cost, and I'm already prepared. But when they hand us the bill, they also include the incidentals. The incidentals in 1 week were the same as 7 days in the room. So basically, we doubled.
From the food, the drinks.
I almost had a heart attack. But I'm trying to play cool. You know, because the employees are looking at you, but I'm handing her my American Express like, oh, my God. Like, oh, my God.
Honestly, as far as American islands go, Puerto Rico is a steal of a deal. The beaches are not nearly as... Hawaii's a beautiful place.
Sure.
But if you're looking to do something where it's nice on a budget, it's still America. When you go down there, it's American currency. When I went to McDonald's...
Well, yeah, it's a U.S. territory.
Yeah, I did go to McDonald's at one point in time to pick up something. We were
going, you're living, brother.
Yeah, going on
we're on the tropical island. Let's go to the Mickey D's.
It was on the way to the tropical rainforest we were going to. So,
of course, as most McDonald's are.
That's where they should be.
Exactly. This is perfect. I get a Big Mac value meal, and it was like $2.75.
Really?
I'm like, this is all right, man.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely cheaper than Hawaii.
I splurged. What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Christian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
What's going on, guys? I heard you guys talking about what you splurge on. And it got me thinking about the story about me and my brother about 4 years ago eating at a Mexican restaurant in Arlington. Oh, God, we made their life miserable that night. Me and him went in there. We're kind of hefty dudes. We ordered 2 of the family plates, and those are like $50 each. And they just brought out these massive platters of tacos, burritos, rice, beans, the list goes on. And then we finished that up. We want to end the night off real good. This isn't a long story by any means. They had this liquor there. It's called Ray Sol. It's $30 a shot, and I had just gotten a little bit of extra money, and I was like, you know what, let's go for it. Ray Sol is a very different type of liquor because you got to let it sit there for like 35 minutes. Let it, what do they call it? Aerate, ferment?
Yeah,
I don't
aerate.
really know the terminology for it. It went through like 4 or 5 different changes. I mean, it went from cinnamon. Another 5 minutes, it went to dark chocolate. Another 5 minutes, it went to vanilla. It was all over the radar. But it's a $300 bottle. Well, me and my brother ended up finishing about half of that. Ran the total up to almost $600 that night.
Damn. Is that the big white tall porcelain bottle?
No. This one, it's kind of slender, but stands maybe a foot tall. It's got a sun on it with a face embedded in it.
All right. It seems like the taller a bottle of tequila you buy, the more expensive.
Yeah, for some reason.
I forget that brand, but that tequila is awesome.
Is it?
Right, it's like white and blue.
Casa Noble.
Yeah.
That's, man, you're right. That stuff's legit.
Yeah, I had a buddy, he did some work for a guy, and the guy sent him like 6 bottles of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, so we were sitting at his house one day, and I was like, this stuff's great. Like, I'm drinking this all the time. And he's like, no, you're not.
Sadly enough, the first time I tried it, I'm already hungover. I'm sweating. I'm sitting in the back of an RV with Misha.
Oh, yeah.
She pulls this bottle out of her bag. I'm like, nah, dude. She's like, dude, just try it. I'm like, Mish, I don't think you get it, man. Oh, my God, this is delicious. And we pretty much polished the bottle.
Yeah. What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Return to Who Sucks Less on the way right after emails on our question. What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Somebody here says, this morning I splurged $400 for tickets to see Steve Miggs make his Seattle debut for Defy Wrestling. Can't wait to see Miggs perform with the guy that stuck his foot in Steve's mouth.
Wow.
That is commitment. I know you do a lot of things in the wrestling world, but like, can we do something that does not involve your foot in my mouth?
Well, it's exciting, too. Steve's never actually wrestled at Defy.
Yeah, that's the thing. So this guy dropped $400 to see his debut, man. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, when he takes to the ring, scream, "We love the men's room."
That'll be interesting. I hope people still boo him.
Oh, they will. Well, it'll be one of those weird. They'll cheer and then boo, right? Like, yeah, I mean, ooh.
Well, they know him as like doing an announcing there, but then he's wrestled around. He's won titles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you guys ever seen him wrestle?
I have not. I've seen
you'll
some
learn
video
to hate
clips.
him.
Oh, I don't have to see him wrestle to hate him.
I mean, that's why I like watching Miggs wrestle. I like to cheer F. Steve Miggs.
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, fellas. How y'all doing?
Hola.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a good story for you, but I just left the dang gas station and dropped almost $100 on a tank of gas, so that might need to be the story that I give you.
Yeah, everybody's been splurging on gas lately.
Oh, but not for real. Last season, NLDS, Dodgers, and the Giants went to Game 5. My wife is a huge Dodgers fan. And, the day before the game, I decided I'm just going to surprise her and grab some tickets, and ended up getting baller tickets right behind the Dodgers dugout in San Francisco, and booked a flight, first class both ways, hotel room right there by the stadium, didn't even have to rent a car, and it was fantastic. Husband of the Year award right off the bat, and but it was painful. For the rest of the year.
San Francisco is a great place to see a ball game. As far as being right down in the middle of town.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stadium.
You really can. Just walk around, go to a couple bars, pop right in there, and seriously, walk 3 blocks back to your hotel.
Yeah, I've seen baseball there and football.
And the Dodgers won, and the fans in San Francisco are the best. I mean, surrounded by Giants fans, and they took us in like their own and just ribbed each other for 9 innings, and it was fantastic.
You don't always hear that. You don't always hear that with Giants
with Dodgers
fans.
fans.
Yeah, Dodgers fans.
I've been to Giants Dodgers on Cinco de Mayo in San Francisco. The Dodgers fans were rough.
Really?
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh yeah. I gave a guy
spectacle on the field afterwards. I mean, it was something else.
They had a giveaway with bobbleheads. There's a dude with his kids. They're probably like their early 20s, and I'm like, ooh, Dodgers fan. We're gonna do with that giant bobblehead. And he was like, F you. And like his kid, like the whole family turned around like, F you, you want to go? And I was like, no, I don't want to go.
Even the kid, come on, mother effer.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it was shocking.
They do a preseason game they used to every year with the A's and the Giants. Those guys get pretty chippy at each other.
Sure, man. It's Oakland.
All right, so that same game, right? Again, Cinco de Mayo. This is an awesome day. It's sunny outside of a blast. There was one dude with red hair and a red mustache. He was hammered drunk, just walking around in his A's gear. I feel like he was just waiting for somebody to chirp him.
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Cody. Welcome to the men's room.
How's it going, guys?
Hola.
Yeah, so I was born on December 23rd. So when I tried to have birthdays growing up, either people were busy with family or they were out of town. And then my half birthday is June 23rd. So it's like bright start of summer vacation. And again, everyone's out of town because they all want to go on break or whatever. So I never really had like a birthday party with like all the friends. You know, I'd have like little sleepovers, or we'd go to the, carnival or whatever and do whatever, but never had anything big. So my girlfriend and I were having like conversations like, what was the best birthday party you've ever had? And I told her, well, never really had like a solid birthday party. So for my half birthday this past year, she like went all out and threw me like the biggest like adult kid birthday party ever. So I love dinosaurs. So the whole thing was dinosaur themed. She went and got all these like blow up like dinosaurs, like rented a bar to have all these sorts of like jungle themed drinks, went and got a bouncy castle to set up in like the backyard, had like all these like crumble cookies because I love cookies. I don't like birthday cake. So like all these like cookies and pie, had friends over. Yeah, it was like probably a couple $1,000.
Tell me you're still with her.
Oh, of course. I'm not letting that go. Our anniversary is actually coming up.
All right. What's your favorite dinosaur then?
Oh, man. I mean, I feel like the T-Rex is just like a classic.
It is. I mean, big badass.
Yeah, of course. I mean, have you seen Jurassic Park?
I was just curious. I always feel like, if you like dinosaurs, you have one that you really like.
You got a favorite?
When I was a kid, I liked the Brachiosaurus because it was the biggest dinosaur that they'd ever found.
It was a big old vegetarian, man.
I know. The size
big,
of it.
Stupid neck. Really, that's the one.
With my plastic toys, it was the big one.
Right.
So I always thought that was the cool. Because if you go to, I think they've got one in the Smithsonian. And I think I saw that on a field trip. I'm pretty sure it was either there or the Pittsburgh Museum.
Might be Pittsburgh, because we were just there in August. I don't remember seeing
They have a blue whale up there.
They got the blue whale. Mm-hmm. God damn, it's a big-ass animal. I mean, because they actually have one that's like hanging from the ceiling.
It might have been a brontosaurus, not a brachiosaurus. But either way, it was just this big thing. And I'm like, man, that thing is badass.
It's not badass. Even in Jurassic Park,
only eats plants.
Even when they showed it in Jurassic Park, it showed them, like, grazing, right? Mm-hmm. And then one sneezed on a kid for a funny moment. But, like, no one was scared of him. Like T-Rex. Like, when he showed up, man, the S is hitting the fan. He has an awesome scream.
Well,
he's chasing you down, man.
Arnold.
He tore a man off the toilet and ripped him in half.
Arnold, for the last 2 years, done a vegan diet. He's still badass.
Yeah, all right, fair.
He didn't get to be Arnold on that vegan stuff.
No, he did not. I think he lost like 25 pounds. Yeah. Probably all muscle.
Shouldn't they be more slender? The dinosaur you like. I'm saying.
I think it's pretty slender.
Diet.
What's the short, stocky one that looks like a rhino? It's got like a
Triceratops?
Yeah, and horns.
Yeah.
That's a dinosaur.
That's your dude?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Elephants don't eat meat. Do they?
No, they don't.
Okay. There's another big animal.
Candy asses.
It's Triceratops eats nothing but plants too, Ted.
Yeah, but Ted.
But it looks tougher.
Yours is cooler. Yeah. Is because dinosaurs like the T-Rex that were trying to eat it because of its horns. Mm-hmm. It was problematic, right? It would keep its head there and like gorge him in the belly. Okay. So even though it ate plants, it was like it'd be like if Mike Tyson said, "I just eat plants now." Still like, it's not worth messing with.
Mike was the closest living relative to a T-Rex right now.
The chicken.
Yes, that's okay.
Delicious.
I rest my case.
Well, have you?
Right, big ass T-Rex, and then after all these years, you're a chicken now.
You're a chicken. You're delicious. You're delicious.
Hey, in a chicken's defense, man, I'm telling you, roosters are real a-holes.
They are. That's a good point.
Right, they don't even care about your size. They just want to mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
T-Rex.
Yes.
Hey, so about 20 years ago, when they were building a new Seahawks stadium here in Seattle, I got the urge to call them up and just inquire about season tickets. And if you guys remember you guys weren't around. I think you were back out east still. But 20 years ago, the Seahawks were struggling as a team. So when I called the ticket office and asked them what was available, they literally, I'll never forget it, they literally asked me, well, where would you like to sit? Do you want to sit on the 50-yard line? Do you want 100 level? 200 level? Do you want the end zone? Do you want to be goal line? Where do you want to be? Because basically they had all the seats available. And so I decided on 100 level, like on the goal line on the north side. And the funny thing is, when I got home and I told my wife at the time, she looked at me and she said, and her response was, you did what now?
Do you still have the tickets?
I do. In fact, I was able to go to the Super Bowl. I got picked to buy tickets to go to the Super Bowl in New York against Denver and saw that ass.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Now, do you remember who the Seahawk quarterback was when they opened the new stadium?
Oh, maybe Dave Craig, no, I think it was after him.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't remember. Hasselbeck came around soon after.
Right, but he wasn't here.
Well, Dilfer was still before Hasselbeck, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think who that was.
What year was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when did they open the new stadium? What year was it? What season?
It was like 2001, I believe.
Okay, all right.
2000 or 2001, yeah. But then my latest splurge was to buy season tickets to the Kraken, so I'm actually going tonight. And Steve, I actually saw you at a game. You were sitting about 10 rows up behind the net.
Yeah.
This is going back a few months. I almost shouted out to you, but...
Yeah, I've been to one game. You saw me at the one game. I'm kind of easy to spot there.
Mm-hmm. It's
a short crowd.
Yeah, it's
that's what it is.
It's Vegas tonight, correct?
Yeah, Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, we got back-to-back. We're going to play them again on Friday here.
Huh. All
right, that's the one that's here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Friday.
Are you going?
I am.
You wearing your jersey?
Well, that's
the guy
thing.
that traded?
Right, it's a Geo jersey. He got traded. But it's the only,
It's one jersey you got, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I say you rock.
And it's a knockoff.
I know everything about that. Like, damn, man.
That's what you tell people. You can't make fun of this. It's a knockoff.
Right?
Oh, what are you going to do? Dump beer on me?
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
By the way, the quarterback in question, can you guess? You'll recognize the name.
We saw Dilfer.
Jackson?
In 2005.
Nope. One person just chimed in. It's like, yep, that's the guy. Rick Meyer.
Oh, Notre Dame?
And the stadium opened up in 2002.
2002.
And that's Notre Dame, Ted? Meyer? I think he was.
Was he?
Mike, actually, can you run by us the statistic here, but the 2003 quarterback competition at the Pro Bowl?
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
This is just listen to these names, all right? You're bringing up Rick Meyer and all that. So we're kind of going the Wayback Machine. And Mike hit us with this stat earlier that just listen to the whole thing. It kind of blows your mind.
Good call, Miles. Rick Meyer is Notre Dame.
Okay. Damn. How do you remember that?
I don't remember anything.
I know.
I'll get it.
All right. Okay. We'll revisit that. But.
What did you splurge on for you or someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Christopher. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Thank you. My splurge was here a few years back. My wife and I had new wife decided to get married, and we wanted to pick out a ring. And I had brought up diamonds, and she said no, she was really interested in a Podporoshka sapphire, which of course I then in turn asked, what the hell is that?
Thank you.
Well, I'm doing some research on it. One of the rarest sapphires available in the world.
Oh.
So looking around at some of the local jewelry shops here, no one has anything. I come across one online company down in L.A. Okay, well, L.A. is a pretty cheap flight from Seattle, so booked tickets, went to L.A., rented a Jaguar while we got down there, high roller, thinking I was, and I picked out some stones that were in my price range and reasonable. Well, when he brought the stones out and my wife looked at them, they weren't quite what she was expecting. And she said, well, can we see some more? And then it happened. They picked out a 4-carat size stone that came out, and it was absolutely gorgeous, but twice as much as what I was expecting to pay for just the stone.
Right, it's not even the ring yet.
That's not even the ring yet. No, sir. That's just the stone. And so here my splurge has gotten even bigger. And how do you look your future wife in the eye and tell her that you can't have that?
It's not that. Mm-hmm. It's I can't afford this. I mean, like, my God, man.
Would it have been cheaper for you to buy like a 1 or 2 carat diamond?
Absolutely not. Well, maybe depending on what the cut and clarity and all of that stuff was with the diamond. I don't know. It all depends. And I offered a diamond, but she just wasn't into them. That Podporoshka was something that she really wanted. And don't get me wrong, the ring is absolutely gorgeous. When it was all said and done, it was about twice what I was expecting to pay.
And you're still married?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
wonderful.
Absolutely, happily. And I would do it all over again. But anyway, that was my splurge.
Yeah. I wonder if those hold their value, or it's just something that's...
You mean a precious gem? Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Yeah, I mean, a diamond's a diamond, the sapphire's a sapphire. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the ring itself might be crap, but if the stone is decent, yeah, it'll hold its value.
So you were mentioning the 2003 quarterback challenge and just the elite quarterbacks that participated in that.
Yeah, because you said, do you remember any of these?
Exactly.
Guys?
So this is 2003. So see how many of these names that you remember. This is the final results of accuracy. Matt Hasselbeck came down with 16 total points. Next up, you have Jeff Blake. Anybody remember?
Cincinnati.
He was playing for the Niners.
No,
wasn't he?
No, he was not. Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, that's right.
Damn.
Mark Brunell. Anybody remember who
Jacksonville Jaguars?
Correct. He was the Jaguars. How about Jeff Garcia?
He was playing in San Francisco.
There you go. That's the 49ers. Brad Johnson. Anybody remember
Vikings.
Brad?
Tampa Bay.
Vikings or Tampa Bay.
Ted, you got it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mark Bulger.
Bulger.
Rams.
St. Louis.
Correct. And then
extra points because they were still in St. Louis.
A young and up and coming quarterback in 2003 by the name of Tom Brady.
How insane is that?
He did okay.
2003.
I know.
He did okay.
Oh, my God.
He's still playing.
That's damn near 20 years ago.
Wonder what Jeff Blake's doing.
Not what Tom's doing.
Well, he's rooting on the Bengals is what he was doing. What did you splurge on, or for you or for someone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jay. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How's it going, guys?
Doing well, sir.
Good. Hey, I splurge on Cuban cigars a couple times a year. That's what I splurge on.
What kind of splurge? Well, how much money are we talking?
Ooh, I hope my wife isn't listening, but whenever I tell her that, hey, I'm thinking about ordering some cigars, I get that look on her face, and I just know that she's not into it. But I usually average probably $1,000 to $1,500 per order.
But
so
how many are you getting? How many cigars do you get?
Well, I mean, okay, so it depends. It depends what you're looking for and what if you want in like Cohibas and stuff. I mean, you're not going to get. You might get like a box or two. All right, but if you're looking for something that's a little more regular production, yeah, I mean, you can get a couple boxes for that. Just a couple months ago, I bought 2 boxes for $500.
And how much do you tell your wife it costs? So when she asks, how much do you say it costs?
I mean, it just kind of depends, man, honestly. I might do like, hey, can I just spend, like $400? And she'd be like, yes, that's fine. Because she knows if I'm asking for like $1,000 or whatever, things can get,
Would it be cheaper for you to just jump the border there and go to maybe a shop in White Rock,
right
across from Blaine, pick it up, bring it back?
Man, a couple of years ago, I was up in Canada, and Canada has such high taxes on tobacco that, it's just insane.
So how are you able to order it now because it's not sold retail in the United States?
Well, somebody said in the state of Oregon, you can actually buy Cubans. Oh, legally.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know about that. So, I order from places in Europe. There's some islands in right outside Cuba that I order from. I order from Mexico. But the thing is you only want to order from one store, and that's called La Casa del Habano. And those are the only authentic Cubans out there. Everything else, I mean, Cubans are so highly counterfeited it's ridiculous. So it took me a real long time to kind of find the places online to order from, and that were reputable and that they were authentic, that they were real. So, yeah, man, I probably order, I don't know, 3-4 times a year.
Okay.
So,
do you smoke them on the regular then? Or are these a special occasion thing?
No, I smoke them on the regular. I'm a collector and a smoker. So a lot of people just collect. A lot of people smoke. I do both. So I have 2 big humidors in my house. And one of them is strictly for Cubans, and the other is for, I call them my domestics, because this is stuff that you can buy in the United States.
All right, what's the shelf life on one in a humidor? Could you smoke one that you purchased 10 years ago? Would it still be fresh and tasty?
Yeah, so I mean, you really got to keep it at the right temperature and the right humidity. So that's a huge key. You really have to babysit them. So I check them. I'll check my stock, and I'll rotate. Every 5, 6, 7 weeks, 2 months. So somewhere in there.
You're serious, man.
How big are your humidors?
Oh, yeah.
You got like a walk-in, or are they like boxes still?
I wish I had a walk-in, man. I really do. So they're about 300 count.
Damn.
So I can buy some boxes and stick them in there, and they'd be good. I just go in there and rotate them. I would say my Cuban humidor is probably worth. It's hard to quantify it, but I would say probably in the neighborhood of 10 to 15,000 by now.
Okay. What would you say a walk-in would cost if you were to have a contractor come over in a closet you have,
right,
and build that thing so you could store your cigars in? How much would that cost you?
Oh, geez, man! If I was going to go that deep, I would go all out. So I'd be putting cedar lining on the walls and everything else. How much would it cost? Couple thousand at least.
I don't think you'd be able to afford it because all the alimony you'd have to pay your wife when she divorces you.
Look, trust me, California closets was $2,000 for me. It's going to cost you more than that. What did you splurge on for you or someone else? We got your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.